Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
It's President Donald Trump in front of governors on Friday, going head-to-head with the governor out of Maine. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker apparently not there. If so, maybe he would have gotten into some back and forth with President Donald Trump. What is going on in Washington? I think it's going to be a regular segment we do here with Illinois in Focus Daily, each and every weekday morning, waking up with you, because quite frankly, there's so much going on with the new Trump administration. We just got to do that segment to keep ourselves updated with what's going on. So we'll be bringing you clips every morning. Maybe it'll be a 5-minute segment. Maybe it'll be a 10-minute segment. Either way, it's going to be part of the live show. So hopefully you wake up and like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yes, Illinois in Focus, focusing in on Illinois, but obviously there's a lot of federal tax dollars that flow through the state of Illinois, so we definitely need to be understanding how Washington, D.C., with a Republican-controlled White House and a Republican-controlled Congress, is impacting Illinois. So let's get into it. Over the last few days, pretty busy for Donald Trump. And one thing, again, he talked with governors last week, and he laid out a whole bunch of things that he's doing. But he also talked about voting regulations. Something I think you're going to see the U.S. Congress do is bring about this whole thing of paper ballots, same-day voting, restricting mail-in voting, voter ID. President Trump laying that out as a main priority for him.
Another thing, I just before we leave, I think you should do this. For my safety and security and for the good of our nation, you should do it anyway, regardless, even if it costs 10 times more. But it actually costs you just a tiny fraction. If you went to paper ballots and you're voting, and I would hope that every Republican would. So it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. It's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat, but it's watermark, and it's it's amazing actually when you see it. Those 4 things: proof of citizenship, voter ID, paper ballots, one-day voting. And if you went to 2-day voting or 3-day voting, but some of these states, you had 64 days. You know, California just finished up just a short while ago. They were voting a week and a half ago.
All joking aside, you do have other states like Illinois where they accept mail-in votes all the way up to 2 weeks after the election. And one of the things that's going to get interesting here is the difference, and hopefully people understand this. If not, it's never too late to get educated. There's a difference between federal elections and state and local elections, right? Federal elections are for U.S. Congress, U.S. Senate, president, and then you've got state and local elections for the state house, for mayor, for township, and so on. But if the federal government was to come in and require only paper ballots and was to require voter ID for federal elections, that could throw states like Illinois, California, New York that have much looser elections to somewhat bifurcate their ballots, which could cause a whole lot of chaos in those states, unless they just went ahead and conformed their state elections to the federal election law. So we're going to be watching that play out. Something else that President Trump made clear in front of all these governors was his executive order about there only being male and female, not a whole host of other genders in the gender ideology spectrum that we've seen a lot of in various public spaces, from sports to schools and so on. But President Trump saying that he's not going to have that anymore.
But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. and enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
That made a lot of news when it happened, but clearly the governor of Maine and President Donald Trump going back and forth on that issue. But the president, when it comes to education, he said that another priority of his, how this will lay over onto states like Illinois, that has more strict school choice issues. I mean, we've got, of course, homeschool. You can send your kid to private school, but you still have to pay property taxes to go to the public school if you send your kid to private school. Should there be a different option to maybe have tax dollars follow the kid to give the parents more choice? Something that President Trump laid out. He is a huge proponent of more school choice options.
Going to protect. So just to end, this administration has been fighting for parents' rights and universal school choice. We want to do something that I think many people in this room want, and even if you don't, I think you do want it, but you might not be able to say it. We want to move the schools back to the states so that Iowa and South Carolina and Georgia and all these states can run your own school system. And you'll do a fantastic job, Kim. You're going to do great. I mean, I use your example because you're so much into the education, done a great job with school choice, and you'll do your school choice.
So school choice, a big deal for the Trump administration. How that's going to be impacted by, say, closing up the Department of Education, something that we'll hear more about as well. So big day Friday. Yesterday was also a big day for the Trump administration. He's gotten some controversial, cabinet picks in, right? I mean, obviously, you had Pam Bondi be the Attorney General, RFK Jr., the HHS Secretary, Tulsi Gabbard to be the Director of National Intelligence, a whole host of others that are now cabinet picks. Well, Kash Patel, also a cabinet pick. And here's some of what Kash Patel had to say after being sworn in by Pam Bondi to be the next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
I promise you the following. There will be accountability within the FBI and outside of the FBI, and we will do it through rigorous constitutional oversight starting this weekend.
Patel went on further to talk about how the FBI agents need to be left alone by the media, and that the media has really some reckoning to do.
We were on the campaign trail together. We were attorneys in the first administration together. Now we're here. She's the Attorney General. I'm the director of the FBI. Like, this is insane. And I don't really fully believe it yet. I hope to. But
Believe it.
I'm just not here without you guys. And look, I know the media's in here. And if you have a target, that target's right here. It's not the men and women at the FBI. You've written everything you possibly can about me that's fake, malicious, slanderous, and defamatory. Keep it coming. Bring it on. But leave the men and women of the FBI out of it. They deserve better.
Again, Kash Patel, the FBI director. Also yesterday, it was revealed that Dan Bongino, former Secret Service, used to work for NYPD back in the day. Now he has a very popular podcast, The Dan Bongino Show. Apparently, he is going to be the deputy FBI director. So some major Trump loyalists being put into the FBI. But Trump, again, had a busy day yesterday, right? He met with Emmanuel Macron, where they talked about Ukraine and trying to get that war settled between Ukraine and Russia. But he also had the Secretary of Commerce, Mr. Lutnick, be sworn in after being approved.
People think the golden age is a statement. It's like saying MAGA, make America great again. This is the greatest country on earth. It is such a great country that we can take care of our citizens and give them their Social Security. We can take care of everyone and give them their Medicaid. But we're going to get rid of so much waste, fraud, and abuse. We're not going to hurt anybody, but we're going to get rid of it. And then we are going to grow this economy in a way that people have never seen.
A lot more to tackle, right? So maybe we do a regular segment every morning as part of Illinois in Focus Daily. What's going on in Washington?
So I made it now my fourth favorite word, and Howard, I think, is, you'll go along with me, number 4, maybe even number 5 or 6.
And that's the president talking about tariffs. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning. Get the podcast where you get podcasts. Just search Illinois in Focus. And also get that newsletter at thecentersquare.com.